And start recording. Okay, hi guys. So my name is Chris Parrott, and I am going to be hosting. This is our week 3 of the new coach calls. So I just want to welcome you all to the Dream Team United, and that's really exciting for you guys to be here. I don't know if this is your first time through new coach training. If you've been through this before and you're kind of like getting comfortable and doing it a second time, I'll be honest, I went through new coach training myself. I did it 3 times before it just kind of really sunk in. So if things are just kind of like a little overwhelming and it's not clicking at first, just keep at it and just keep going until it does, because it will all sink in. It's just like having a new job with anything that you do, is that it takes time to learn it. And I don't know about all of you and your backgrounds, but I'll tell you, for me, throwing something into health and fitness and throwing in all this technology and the social media, it was a big learning curve for me. All I knew is that I liked the products. Like, the products were working for me, and I just felt awesome and wanted to share it with everybody else. Knowing that there's a whole business behind it was really exciting for me. And so I got to learn something new and that power. So I will tell you now, just to share a little bit about me before we get into actually, like, our topic this week is one of my favorites, and it's about challenge groups and running them and what we get to do as coaches. And that's really exciting. But a little bit about me. I'm a Diamond coach. Melanie is my direct upline. My team is Team Busy Fit. And going in the theme that we've just changed over to Dream Team United, I am Team Busy Fit United now. And it just seemed to fit when we started talking with all of my team, and they're like, yeah, we're all united, we're all busy, we're all making this work. So that's exciting. But in addition to that, I am a wife. My husband works full-time, and he's also going for his PhD. And then I have 2 little boys who are just about to start kindergarten and first grade. And so they're busy, and they've got their crazy busy schedules, and we've got soccer and taekwondo and all of the moving parts that go along with that. In addition to that, I am a full-time, I work outside of the home. I get to telework today, so that's kind of exciting. But I work outside of the home. I'm a senior human resources professional with the headquarters for the Air Force. And so I take care of all, like, the executives and political appointees and everything like that, and making sure that all the human resources functions that you have to do for it. So that job's really busy and intense. And then I'm a Diamond coach on top of it. So I'll tell you, if anybody is struggling with balancing all of it, we've all got busy schedules. I'm going to tell you to keep at it, and you figure out the schedule that works for you. Whereas some people can dedicate 8 hours a day. I cannot. I literally, for the first year of my business, started and I did 30 minutes on my commute into work on the train and 30 minutes on the way home. That's the amount I could give. And I built a business, and I built it to Emerald. And then eventually I built it to Diamond, and you build it to a more stable position. And then you have goals beyond that are going to eventually take up more time. But you can still, in pockets of time, it doesn't have to be 1 full hour. It doesn't have to be 6 hours a day or anything like that to build a successful business. I'm here to tell you that, if you can dedicate that consistency every single day, because that's what I can tell you. I didn't have mass amounts of time every day to contribute to this business. I had 30 minutes at each end of my day. So I had 1 hour a day that I could contribute, and I did that every single day. And I stuck to those vital behaviors, and I stuck to that inviting. And then when they give you those numbers, they're not big numbers. They build up and they compound. If you guys have read The Compound Effect, they build up after time. And that's what builds the business. That's those long-lasting, consistent actions are what's going to get you results as a coach. And it's just going to be at a different pace than what you're going to see some other people do. And you just realize that, and there is no wrong pace that you're doing if you are doing the job. You will look around and don't compare yourself to other people. You compare yourself to who you're helping. And that's what I'm really excited to talk to you guys about challenge groups about, because this is the heart of everything that we're doing. So this is going to be great. And a little bit about my journey as well, because everybody starts talking about this transformation story that they have, and where you're at with starting out coaching, and maybe you're at your goal weight, maybe you're not. I will tell you, I was far from it when I first started out. And when I first started with Beachbody products, I weighed 200 pounds, and I am that story that has lost 70 pounds. I have kept it off. It was consistency. It took a couple years. I ended up gaining 30 pounds back because I completely like went away from this when we were moving, and I fell off the wagon and I hit hard. And so technically I've lost 100 pounds, but it's 70 pounds total that I have lost and I have kept off. And when I started coaching, it was for the discount. It wasn't about building a business, but almost immediately people had already seen that I was down, I think 20 or 30 pounds at that time when I started coaching. So, I mean, I was still like about 170, I think, and most people get that hang up, especially for me that I've been overweight for a long period of time in my life. And we have that hang up of like, what do we have to offer as health and fitness, a health and fitness professional? Look at me. But people were seeing my results. And so for any of you that are in here that are starting out as coaches that still have a journey, you guys are set up in a really great spot because people are going to see the credibility grow along the lines with you. They're going to see you have these results. They're going to see the products working. And so when I started coaching for that discount, and like I said, immediately people are like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, hey, I signed up for this discount and, I'm coaching now. So come do it with me. Yeah. And I immediately I hit Success Club that first month. I was Emerald by the next month because it just kind of like, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm loving this stuff. And you just want to share it. But again, it was consistency. It wasn't until spring this year that I finally hit my goal weight, that I finally got to say, woohoo, I'm a 70-pound weight loss story. And that felt really good. That's what I love about coaching. And that's what I love about this whole opportunity, because you can be anywhere in your journey. You just have to have that heart to want to help people. And that's what I find just absolutely fascinating about all of this. So, and I can talk forever and ever on this. So I did, so instead I did slides so that we can kind of stay on task and on focus here. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And when I do that, I am not going to be able to see you guys again. So, just unmute yourself if you have questions. And if you do anything in the chat bar, I'll check it at the end. Okay. I always screw this up. So, Safari, here we go. And then I've got way too many slides open. And so we're going to present, and here we go. I can't see you guys. And so I don't know for you guys, I'm going to give this to you from my perspective, and what I get from a lot of my coaches on my team is the first thing they say is, we're like, okay, we love being coaches and we love the products and we love doing this, but then we got to run a challenge. We got to run a challenge group. And this is what's so great about the Dream Team, is that you never have to do any of this on your own. So we get to run a challenge group, and I know for me, I was running them with Melanie for the first, I think 3 or 4 months. Like I said, I was kind of slow at it because I had, X amount of time to dedicate. And then finally she was like, you've got, I think I had like 7 people in her challenge group. And she's like, you could totally do a challenge group on your own. But she never told me I had to. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is how we run a challenge group. And some people are ready to just jump right in and do their own challenge group. And some people are going to co-run it with Melanie. And so we're going to talk about your upline coach. So we're going to talk about like what your role is in a challenge group, because it's a shift from when you were just being a challenger to being a coach now, and to be that active role in the group. And it doesn't matter if you're running your own group and you're doing and controlling all of your posts every single day, which if you are doing that, know that there is a number of resources out there that scripts are already written. So don't feel like you have to go out on your own and create this whole thing on your own and reinvent the wheel. If you want to do that, that's fantastic. But if you don't have the time to do it, or it just overwhelms you, there are a ton of scripts out there. Melanie's Dream Team page has like all of her old scripts on it. We constantly sharing. There is a script swap group. If you're not a part of that, let me know at the end here, and we will, it's a secret group. So you have to actually be a member of the Dream Team to be added into that. But it's a great resource there. So if you want to run free groups or 21-day groups, or however long it is, whatever theme that you want. But we get into a challenge group and we say, oh my goodness. And I've already introduced myself, so you don't need that slide anymore. So, okay, oh my gosh, we get all excited because people have signed up for a challenge group, and now we're like, oh my God, how do we get them started? What do we do to get them started right? And it's so important to us because we want the people to get started right, because the challenge group concept is fantastic. This is not us going out and just selling a product and just saying, hey, dude, come and buy this product and I'll talk to you in 30 days and see how you like it so you'll order it from me again, maybe. I don't know. No, we have the challenge groups set up so that people come in, they've seen our results, or for whatever reason, they've signed up with us. And now we have this opportunity that we actually get to help them get the results. We actually get to help them through their products, through the struggles, when they maybe don't want to work out anymore. And we're helping them for that long term. They've got that support that you don't get that anyplace else. You don't sign up for, other products and if you're selling makeup, or if you're selling, whatever it is that you might be doing, there's not the groups in there that says, hey, how do they work? And hey, I'm struggling with this. And hey, it's my nutrition, and getting my head wrapped around, like, really, for a lot of people, it's really changing how they eat, how they look at their nutrition, how they look at themselves, how they balance exercise, just getting the exercise done in their day every day. So this challenge group concept works. And that's why it's so exciting, because we create this community of people that come from all walks of life, from all over the world. I've got people in Japan, I've got people in Germany, Italy, that are all affiliated with they're affiliated with the military. I've got them up in Canada, hoping to have them in the UK here soon. I mean, that's really exciting. So people from all over the world come together. We all have these same struggles. And we put them together to create this community. That's what a challenge group is. It's a community group where we can share what's working for us, what's not working for us, and then can contribute those opinions. You may or may not be a health and fitness professional. I am not a certified nutritionist. I'm not a dietitian. I am somebody that has gone out. I've been smart enough to go out. You can go on the internet, you can learn for yourself. And I am sharing what works for me. Melanie shares what works for her. And you know what? I don't need a professional to come in and tell me necessarily. I always appreciate their opinions, especially because we've got the nutritionists on the team. So they're always a great resource, but I don't need to go out for myself when I have this group right here that have so many people that have said, hey, have you tried this? Hey, have you tried that? And then we can have that challenge group concept together instead of having to spend that extra money to go to a professional for them to tell us exactly what we're learning in here, because all the materials are given to us. We just now have the opportunity to share it with everybody. So we get in there, and the people that have signed up, our goal for our challengers is results. That's what it is. We want a person to get in there, and we want them to do a program from start to finish. If they're doing a program, if they're kind of like I want something different every day, and they're a bod person, you kind of approach that a little bit differently. But essentially, it's everybody coming in and starting new in their products, in their journey, in their challenges. They may have started 500 million different programs or things in the past. They have a graveyard of workouts. I know this. I was that person. They have a graveyard of workouts, and they're coming in and they've tried it all. Well, you know what? They don't know it all, because if they did know it all, they wouldn't be in this group already, and they wouldn't be in the situation where they needed to get results. So that's our goal. We get in there, and we want people to come in and finish a program from start to finish, and we want them to commit to the nutrition because we want them to see the results. You as coaches are in there, and you just don't dump your challengers in there. You guys are in there, and you're challengers as well. You are first and foremost, you're that vital behavior number one, be proof the product works. So you're in there and you're showing the workouts, and you're showing your Shakeology, and you're showing that you're doing it and you're committing to it every day. And when you do that, you're going to see on the next slide, that's creating value for your challengers, because they're seeing you do it too. And you're like, okay, she's doing it. She feels this is important enough to do. I'm going to do it too. So remember that, coaches. First and foremost, your number one priority in the challenge group is that you're a challenger, okay? And to be in there. Now, your people that signed up, how do you sign them up right? Are they familiar with on-demand? Don't just assume, because it is pretty easy to use, and because they got the email from Beachbody that shows them how to use all this. Are they familiar with on-demand? Have they received their challenge pack? Do they even know how to make Shakeology? Like, most people don't realize that you can just flip over the back and there's instructions right there to mix it with water or whatever liquid. And they may not like it that way. And so I always send them a couple sample recipes and to get them started, because we've had those conversations about what they like, what they don't like. So, you know, I'm already like, hey, how's your first shake? And then I'm completely honest with them. My first couple shakes were awful. You know, first of all, I came to realize I don't even like chocolate. So I don't know why I ordered chocolate for my first round, because it just seemed like kind of the safest, you know. But I had to tweak the recipes until I got it right. And that's the same thing for them. So don't panic if they come back and they're like, Shakeology is awful. And they say that after the first or second time that they've had it. And you're like, we just haven't found the right recipe for you. I have yet to find somebody that I haven't been able to find the right recipe, right flavor, right recipe, right combination for them. So don't panic when the initial feedback, because they're resistant to change. It's easy for them to come out and purchase the challenge pack, but to actually open that box and to dig into it takes some time. It takes some work. It takes that shift in the mindset. So they're automatically looking for things that are wrong with it or want to. And they will, but I'm just like, challenge accepted, because these products work. I know these products work and you can't tell me otherwise. So we're going to make it work for you. And especially those containers, those tiny little containers, and people pull them out and they're like, oh my God, what are these things? And they're never going to feed me. And in their mind, they've got all these mental things that are going on, right? So one of the things I created, and I'll share these slides when I'm done, but it is, let's see if it'll open up. Can you guys see this when it shares? I post this, I give this to them, and I also post it in the challenge group when I'm running my challenge group myself as a file. And it's all like those handy, you're getting 500 different emails, you're throwing things at everybody, you're throwing it up in the challenge group, the post gets lost later on. These are all the things that I have given to my people at once. You're not sure how to use the My Challenge Tracker app, there is the link for you. You're not sure how to use On Demand, there's the link for you. You're not sure how to even get to On Demand, there is the link for you. It's all there. Meal planning templates, a restaurant survival guide. They want to know how to change or modify their Shakeology. It's all things that we as coaches, we know, or we've been doing, or we've learned over time. These are brand new people. So you always try to put yourself in their shoes of what can you give them? What kind of information can you give them in one consolidated source to make this easier for them, to make it so that they're going to want to use this. And people do. This is nothing fancy. You know, you see it. It's a bunch of links on a page. That's what I got for you. I've got a link to my Pinterest page, so that's a great way if you guys have Pinterest to generate followers, to send them to your Pinterest page and be like, hey, check out my Shakeology recipes here. There's a ton of them. And then what we've started doing too, and if you're running your own challenge group, this is exciting, is we started doing like the first couple weeks of the challenge group, we do a call. We do a Zoom call just like we're all on right here. And it's great because it gets challengers familiar with Zoom. So like if you go to if they become coaches later on, they're already familiar with Zoom. And I do the call and we talk about the nutrition. I go over, you know, those containers. I go over how to approach meal planning. And we go over a couple different ways to approach meal planning. We go over the meal planner on Beachbody's website. Like a lot of people don't know that there's a straight up meal planner. You go in and put out like low carb, whatever, here's your range and this is what you want to do. And it will spit out a meal plan for you. So when your people are struggling and they're like, I can't write a meal plan and I don't know where to start. You start right there because it gives it to you. And they're like, well, I don't like this recipe. Swap it out. You know, everything that they come to you and say, you've got something for. You've got a way to help them. So let me go back. I'm sorry, I didn't turn off my click to exit full screen. There we go. Okay, so these are the resources. This is what you're doing for your people even before the group has started, you know, and getting in there and leading the way, okay? Why don't you go to the next slide? Oh, I've got the little wheel circle thinking. Okay, give me just a second. Is this making sense to you guys so far? Like what your role, and some of you might have done challenge groups before. And that's great. And so you are understanding, you are hearing this. Every time I hear these, I love listening to all of these. I love listening to all the other coaches talk about what they're doing in their challenge groups, because I get new ideas every single time. That's where I got the idea to do that Zoom call. Was a coach on a call one night had mentioned that that's what they do. And I was like, that's brilliant. I wanted to do that. Okay. So next, when you add somebody into a challenge group, you don't just add them into a challenge group. Especially if you're running your own, and even if you're running them with Melanie, announce them, make them feel welcome. This is what we do with every one of our challenge groups is we start, and every one of our new challengers, here you go. Because we do a combination of experienced challengers and new challengers in it. And I welcome them. I put their picture up, I put their name up, I tag them in a post. And we get every single one of the coaches, so we get all of the experienced challengers to come in and welcome them as well. So they get started right. Like they feel part of the group. There's none of this like, oh, I'm going to sit on the side and like nobody knows I'm here type deal. No, these are the names, these are the faces. These are the people you're going to be interacting with. And this also gives the coaches, this gives you people to be looking for, especially when they're posting, because they're probably going to be the ones that are saying, I'm kind of struggling here, or I'm really sore here today. And you could say, no, keep going, that's great. And we give them the extra encouragement. So we welcome them in style. Like, how good does that feel to know that you've just showed up and you're like, oh, I'm brand new, but look at, they're taking the time to welcome me. And it's nothing simple. It's something that I am the worst person, by the way, for cute, creative pictures. This is something I've really had to work at. So not only did I not have any time, I am not creative either. And so slowly but surely, Melanie's done some great calls on like how to present things in Canva. Or how to make things in Canva, and just really easy. And so the whole concept, I think just about every time you're going to see me do something, there is going to be a picture that's going to be faded in the background, and I just write something on it. And these little circles that are all perfect is you just add them in Canva. It's in the elements, and you add it over there, and then I just copy them, and you drag the picture over, and it fits right in perfectly. Like I don't have to edit it or anything. It just fits right in. And so it's nothing fancy. It takes 5, maybe 10 minutes to get done, to produce. And this, we have noticed every time that we do something like this, where we welcome new challengers, that the majority of them are the most active participants in the group. And they are still getting through, and they're having better results at the end, and they're actually still there at the end. So that's just one way to get your people started right. And now if you only have one person in the group, still welcome them. You get them in that first time, and you tag them, and you're like, hey, welcome to the group. I'm so excited to have you here, because you are excited to have them here. And you kind of guide them those first few days while they're getting into the swing of things. So if you're running a group, okay, so we're launching a group, and are you running your own group? Are you running it with Melanie? It really doesn't matter. You own it. Just because if you're running it with Melanie and she or your upline and they're posting the daily posts every day, doesn't mean that you don't have a vital role in this group. And it also doesn't mean that because it's Melanie's group or it's your upline group, doesn't mean that you just dump your challengers in there and you leave Melanie and everybody else to do the work. You get in there and you own it. You are a coach. It doesn't matter if you have one person in there. It doesn't matter if you're in there as a challenger and you didn't have anybody, or if you have 5 people in the group. If you have 30 people in the group, you own that group. You own that role as a coach. And so one of the things that we talk about is that there's no challenger left behind. And so we get on there, and we never leave a coach, or we never leave a post behind without a comment. And I tell my coaches, I don't care if they're your person or not. It's all the same journey, and it's everybody looking for those same words of encouragement. So you get in there and you see somebody that had posted, and they're like, yeah, I just upped my weights for this is my 2nd week doing it, and I just upped my weights. And everybody can congratulate somebody on that. And it feels good. It feels good to know that strangers are recognizing the hard work that you're doing. It feels good to get those compliments. It's encouraging. And what does that encouragement do? They show up the next day, and they post the next day, and they feel good, and they get those results. So you guys are here to be those encouragers. And so when you go through, take that ownership. If you see that one person has commented, or only one person has commented, or no people have commented, you get in there and you comment on somebody's, if the Shakeology, if they made a recipe and you're like, ooh, how did you like it? Or, hey, or how did you make this, if it sounds interesting to you? And it's not just enough to say, oh, yay, great job, because then it loses its authenticity in your interest in their results. And so we always try to kind of ask questions maybe, or to engage them, because people are a little bit nervous and a little bit shy when they first start, and that's okay. We want to bring them out of their shell. We want to help them be comfortable in this. We want this to be a place that they want to turn to, and they want to turn to their workouts, and they want to turn to their Shakeology when times are getting stressful. And so no challenger left behind. I told you guys this earlier, coaches are challengers first and foremost. That's vital behavior number one. And I put it back in here again because I really wanted to stress that for you, that they need to see you doing the work, and putting in the work and putting in that effort. That's really important. Okay, so when I got ahead of myself on the last slide there, and I say, there's more. You don't just dump somebody into a challenge group and then not engage with them. Here is a big one. So we get them in the challenge group, and for me, I'm a very, if you know your personality color, I'm a very red personality color, so I just go. I'm like, okay, that's what I need to do. All right, let's do it. Let's go. I need to check in every day, ... But then you don't notice that there's people that aren't checking in anymore, and they're getting behind the scenes, and they're getting caught up in their excuses. So you know what? That's up to you as the coach to be engaging with your people behind the scenes. And that's even if they're checking in regularly in the challenge group, you check in with them maybe weekly and say, hey, how is it going? How is your meal planning? How is the Shakeology? What are you liking? How are you feeling about it? And that's a really great gauge right there. I know you guys are new coaches, and we've talked about adding coaches, and building your business. So these people that are really rocking your challenge groups, these are your potential future coaches. This is where I get almost all of my coaches from, is that they have been rocking it. They have great results. They're feeling good about it, and they want to share it with others. So you don't know that by just having them check in on the challenge group. You're engaging with them behind the scenes, and you're growing and you're developing that relationship with them, so that when the time comes for you to say, hey, have you ever thought about coaching? You are just rocking this challenge group. I am so excited for you, and I think you'd make a fantastic coach. It's natural. It's easy. They may say no at first, because it might be kind of shocking and scary, but you've already taken that time to be building that relationship. It's authentic, that relationship that you're building behind the scenes, and they will be your natural next coaches. Now, the other side of that is that there's people that will just check out of challenge groups, that they stop showing up. They haven't committed, or they stopped where they were at with their commitment. And you know what? If they're not checking in, then you call them out just as quickly. And I have a What Up Wednesday that my people know that if they haven't been checking in for the last couple days, guess what? They're going to be getting a message from me saying, hey, what's up? Where are you at? What's going on in life? We talk about like how everything gets busy. And so people start talking, oh no, and the excuses start to roll. And I say, okay, what can you commit to? And we hold them to that. So what can you commit to? Where on your calendar? That's one of the exercises that we do, is I have everybody put on their calendar, and I make them do screenshots and send it to us. But we put it on the calendar of make an appointment with ourselves of when we're going to work out. And so we revisit that. We revisit things that we were doing in the very beginning. And so if they weren't checking in, what can you commit to? Where on your calendar is your workouts? Stop thinking about anything else. Where is the workouts? What's going to happen? Can you do it at 5:30 in the morning? Can you do it at 4:30 in the morning? What time is it that you need? I'm not kidding. I had somebody stop checking in recently, didn't say anything. They were really embarrassed because legit, my dog ate my Shakeology. So I hope you guys are all laughing. I can't see you right now, but it was the funniest thing. And at the same time, I'm like, why would you think you couldn't check in or tell me that? Like, not that we can't really do much about it. And I think the dog ate it was a third of the bag. So yeah, they had some issues after that. But the point being is that I wouldn't have known that had I not reached out to her. like she would have just fallen off the wagon for that, because they come up with any kind of excuse to get out of what they are doing. And you need to ask those questions, just like you were asking those questions to get people to sign up, and you go through that forming process. It's the same thing. Once you get them in here, you're forming them all over again. And I form them every single, I'm a relationship person as well. So I'm forming them throughout every challenge group that we do. I'm forming them the next challenge group, because first and foremost, on the invite side of it, when I'm inviting them to the challenge group, the approach I've learned to take, the confidence that I have gotten in my coaching, is that these people don't know it yet, but they will be my challenger at some point. It just wasn't ready for them right now. So that no doesn't even deter me. They are just on my list to invite for the next month and the next month and the next month. And you guys, if you don't know this already, those no's, it takes an average of 6 touches for somebody to finally be ready to commit to something like this. Some people will just they'll sign up right away, and they may or may not have even opened the box. But typically it's 6 times talking to somebody before they're ready to commit. So if you get somebody in there and they have said no, and then that next month they come back to you, and you're being consistent with your workouts, you're being consistent with your nutrition, you're being that challenger first and foremost. You are leading the way. You are being that example. And so guess what? When they are ready, they're going to know who to come to. They will come to you. So those no's, just don't even, it's scary to get them, but you get them now and you're like, okay, you know what? You're not ready. It's, quite frankly, it's your loss, but I am super excited for the day when it is time. Same thing with coaching, because people will sign up for the discount, for the 25% discount, because that's a fabulous deal as it is, but you're still forming them. You're still forming them for coaching and having those relationships and checking up with them and asking them every single month, because this month, their situation can completely change the next month or the next month after that. Suddenly their confidence has raised, maybe they got a little bit further in their weight loss journey. Maybe, you know what, you don't know when somebody's financial situation changes, and you don't know if they're struggling to pay some bills or what might have happened or what they need. And there you are with the next step. You've always been there. You've always been there to support them. And so guess what? If you've always been there to support them, they're going to look to you for coaching first. They're going to look to you for your results. And it all stacks up. It all leads to this one big community and how you're going to create a successful business like that. And I think, yeah. And so what happens then, as you get out of a challenge group, so the challenge group's launched and you got everybody in there, we're interacting, we're interfacing, we're having those behind the scenes conversations with people. And you know what? Do you have people in it? Here is a big thing I need to tell you guys. Do you have people in it? Yes or no? You invited, and nobody came. Nobody is in this challenge group. What is it? What do you do? Guess what? I'm going to tell you something right now. Nobody on social media knows if that challenge group was a success or not. Nobody. So you talk it up like, oh my God, this last challenge group, I've got to open another one. This is so incredible. Nobody knows if anybody showed up or not. And I just said, this challenge group is so incredible. My challenge groups are incredible. Whether everybody chooses to show up or not is a different story. So you know what? If nobody showed up to that challenge group, you turn around and you start inviting, you set up another challenge group and you get another one going. Because nobody knows on social media. All they know is what you tell them. They could think I am the top coach in Beachbody. Because of what the appearance and the confidence and how I am out there, and I'm just putting myself out there. And so always know what you are inviting to next. So when the challenge group launches, there's going to be something else there. If you're brand new to this, very simply, if you've hit Success Club, yes, then start inviting maybe to the next, to the coaching sneak peek. If you're doing one for Melanie, if you're doing your own, you're doing one with an upline, start inviting to a coaching sneak peek. Start simple. Can you think of 5 people that you would want to be on your team, to be coaches with you, that you would want to bring this opportunity to, and invite them? Start simple. If you haven't hit Success Club yet, go back to the previous and start another challenge group. start advertising for another challenge group to get that started so that you do hit Success Club every month. Success Club 5 means that you have helped three people get started on their health and fitness journey. And 3 is kind of like that minimum level that we look at for coaching, and that you can use as like your benchmark. And so your Success Club, every single month, you can start to look and see your income progress. You can start to see, it's going to compound. Your customer list is going to increase. Your coaching opportunities, your individuals for coaching is going to increase. And then eventually, as you rank advance to Emerald and you're hitting Success Club, you have things like leads coming to you. So like customers are actually given to you from Beachbody. And I'm going to exit out of here and come back. I'm going to stop sharing because I'm all done with this. But yeah, so leads are going to start being given to you once you hit Success Club. And then the longer you're hitting Success Club, you get more and more recognition. So Beachbody's going to gives you a prize almost every single month for hitting Success Club. Then you have, if you know about Summit is our big annual event. And so I got to tell you, I've been to I worked in government for the longest time. I've been to so many meetings, my head could spin. This Summit is the coolest, absolutely the coolest annual conference event you could ever possibly go to. So nowhere else are you going to go and get to wear workout pants and then work out with celebrity trainers and have like top professional personal development. You have people like Darren Hardy and Chalene Johnson coming in. And I mean, they bring the house down. Like, they are so awesome. And you have these top coaches that are coming out and they're sharing everything with you. So guess what? When you go to Summit and you've been hitting Success Club, you hit Success Club for 12 months, you're an all-star. You get a really cool badge that says, I'm a Success Club all-star. I'm an Emerald rank, and it's all for being consistent in that, in your efforts, in your daily efforts as a coach, and your efforts in the challenge group. So every day that you show up to that challenge group, you are predicting your future. So you have the opportunity to control that. Who are you engaging with? How are you helping other people? And it's really exciting because you're going to look around and you're going to see the coaches and the future people that you're working with. And you can identify, somebody's got a similar story as you. You've got, 2 young, crazy kids. That's how Melanie and I connected. Like, she had a post out there about 2 young, crazy boys. And I think she was drinking wine that night. I'm like, you are my people. Yes. Wine, crazy kids. I'm on this. And that was that connection that we made. And so that's really what I wanted to share with you. Just your role. Sometimes we get lost in what we're seeing in the day-to-day of a challenge group and what our role is, or we think maybe it's not nearly as important because we're not running the challenge group as ourselves. But everything that we do every day in those challenge groups is important, and it is a change, and it does affect people's lives. And you just don't know when somebody's going to message you and say, I needed you to check in with me today. Thank you for that. Or conversely, when you're having a bad day, those are going to be the same people that know that communication is open for you. And you're going to get a random email. I just got a message from one of my coach challengers. She's on her weight loss journey right now too. Her and her husband are doing this, and they've lost 57 pounds together. I got a random message about it. I've seen it in her face. I've seen it in her post. I knew she was slimming down, but 57 pounds together they have both lost. And it just gave me chills. And to be part of something that to be changing people's lives like that is so incredible. And you know what? We do it together. We're not superheroes. We're not super whatever it is. We're just these everyday people that have come together and say, we're going to make a change, and we're going to help others make the change too. And then we are stronger. We've committed to this, and we are making these results happen. And that is something awesome to be part of. So I am super happy to have you guys here as part of Dream Team United. I really look forward to seeing you guys in the rest of the groups. Don't hesitate in the Dream Team, the personally sponsored page, the regular coach page, you name it. There's so many resources out there. And so on the flip side of that, there are so many resources out there. Don't let yourselves get overwhelmed as well. Don't let that paralyze you when you start seeing like, oh, I could do it this way, or oh, I could do it that way. Just do it. Just throw something out there because your intent is to help people. Your intent, if you are bringing this from the heart, you're not going to do it wrong. You might want to do it differently the next time, but you're not going to do it wrong. And you can't go wrong when you follow that. So just remember that. Follow your heart, follow your message, and reach out to here on the Dream Team because we've got the resources. Like our team is just awesome for this. So with that said, I'm going to go into the chat. And if anybody, we've got chats. Okay. I'm going to start at the beginning. All right. Script swap. When I post, so I'll post the my slides in the event that Melanie announced. Is everybody personally sponsored coaches of Melanie's? Does this need to go in the personally sponsored page or the, okay. So where she posted the Zoom announcement today, I will post my slides there. And then if you just comment that you wanted to be added to the script swap group, then just put your name there. I think I might have to friend request you, and then we'll, and then you can go and get added to the group, or I can put the link up to the group, I think. But yeah, secret group, you're never going to find it, so don't go try searching for it. So, okay, script swap. Where can we find this list of quick, easy links? When I share my slides in that group, you'll have an access. I put it, and I made the link already shareable, so you guys can click on that. It's only view, so just make a copy. And download it into your Google Drive or whatever it is that you guys use. Make a copy and make it yours. And you guys can, you use that. That's what we do. We share resources. So don't keep trying to reinvent the wheel. If you see something that's really cool, reach out to a coach and say, hey, would you mind sharing that? That would be awesome. Or, hey, does anybody have this? Because it's a lot easier to like kind of tweak what somebody's already doing that is working and make it your own. And that's the important thing. Just make it your own. You don't want to, if you don't have kids and I'm sitting here blabbing about kids and you really like the graphic or something, you might want to take the thing about kids out of there because that's not you. That doesn't make sense. Let's see here. Document, script swap. Yes, everything's making sense. Woohoo! How soon after preseason starts do you keep adding new challengers? Also, once someone says no, do you literally PM them again the next month to invite, or maybe wait a month? Okay, so question number one, preseason. I use preseason as the way to invite somebody that entire week. So right up until Monday morning when that challenge group launches, I am still inviting to that group, especially if I need to hit Success Club. I'm inviting, and I'm getting people in there. I typically do not invite people into the challenge group after it's already started. I just find that people get a little lost and a little overwhelmed. Unless I know I can dedicate the time to get them caught back up. And so I start inviting them and getting them ready for the next group. And then I kind of do some one-on-one support with them until that next group starts. And when someone says no, so when I do my invites, my challenge groups every month, I do a Facebook event. I run all of my groups in my challenge tracker app, but I do a Facebook event. And I invite people to it. And so everybody that's been on that list before, whether they've said no or they're current challengers or whoever they may be, or conversations that I've had that I think might be interested, I invite all of them. But I don't cold invite people to my Facebook events. Like I don't just go through my my Facebook list and just invite everybody, because Facebook will freeze you so that you can't invite anybody else to the group. But those people that said no, unless they have blocked me from the internet or from Facebook, like they've deleted me as a friend, then guess what? I'm going to be inviting you. We've had this conversation. I don't know exactly what's going on in your life. This could be the time that you're ready. So yes, that very next month I am in there and I am inviting them to the event. And then I follow up with a message of saying, hey, I don't know if you saw this or not. If you're interested, I was thinking of you. I thought this would be great. I personalize my messages. Like I said, I'm a relationship person, so I don't just like cold script everybody, but I have a general script that I kind of work from to get it started. So yeah, I would do it right again that next month. Oh, we got more. I've advertised for 3 There you go. There you go, Tanya. You've advertised for 3 challenge groups this month. Julia says, what do you use to keep track of potential challengers? Google Sheets. So what about the Shakeology if they join the day that the real challenge group starts? Okay, so I use Google Streak very loosely, and I don't have it here. I should have. I am a sticky note queen. I have these giant sticky notes, and so it is. You know what? I'm going to go grab it real quick. I want you guys to see this. So hold on. So there is no one right way or one wrong way. Well, there's only one wrong way to be tracking your challengers, and that's not doing it, or your potential customers to be talking to. So like I said, I was always on the road and needed something quick to write on. And so the system I kind of developed, if you guys can see this, it's a list of names. I just write them down on a sticky note, and I just go through every month and I write them down at the beginning, and then I check it off as I've talked to them, and then I move them over, and then if they sign up, then they get erased from the list, and I keep filling it up with the conversations that I've been having. So I have no less than 50 people on that list at all times. So I always have, the statistic I think is like 1 in 5 people are going to sign up for a challenge group. So think about the number of conversations, or sign up for a challenge pack. So think about just the numbers. You start playing the numbers on that, how many conversations you need to be having. So if you're having those 3 to 5 conversations a day and you're inviting 3 to 5 times a day, you're going to hit those numbers. But you just don't think you're going to have a couple really great conversations, and not everybody's going to commit. So you just have to manage that reality. So I kind of use Google Streak loosely. I should be better about it, especially because they've got the app set up now. And so that's something I'm going to be committing to better. But for right now, I mean, it's a simple piece of paper, and I've got piles, every month I've got all of my piles of the people that I keep them all so that I can go back, and just in case I might have missed somebody, or I need to refresh my memory. Because if you're sitting here going through on Facebook and you are using that as your way to track, you're going to lose messages, and that means you're going to lose people, even in your messenger. And I did that for a long time, where I just go back and revisit the last few. When you start having 15 to 20 conversations going on at a time, and you cannot scroll through all of them, and you cannot keep track of them, and you are going to lose names, and you are going to lose people. So if you are starting out right now, don't be scared of just setting up a system and going with it, because if it doesn't work later on, you at least have all of the names captured. You have everything captured, and you can just transfer it over. So if you want to do something like TeamZ, or if you want to do Google Streak, or you just like the sticky note, just have something so you can always recall the conversation. Some people get really detailed in their notes, like everything about them. I typically can remember the conversations that we've been having with people. I just need the memory jogger to remember who I was talking to. So there's a couple options. And like I said, the only way that's wrong is to not track it. Okay. What else do we got? So if they don't get their Shakeology right away, it's 5 to 7 days. I've got some people that are overseas. It takes a little bit longer, and they've just got to account for a red someplace else. And I'll say, just understand, as long as you guys know, if they're local here, I've actually had them buy some Shakeology off of me. So I'll do up a sampler pack for them. But most of my people are not local. So then I just tell them, hey, we've got to account for another red until it gets here. I don't want you to be discouraged by any of the results you may or may not have, because you're not on a complete nutrition program at this point. And people are fine with that. Let's see. What if they have their own thing going on, but I haven't met Success Club yet? Tanya, if you can explain what you mean by that. Your question is, what if they say they have their own thing going on, but I haven't met Success Club yet? Who's they? You want to unmute yourself? Is Tanya? Yeah, Tanya's on. Okay. If she gets a chance, then we'll hop back into that. Kristen, yes, I only have one more Success Club point and no one else is biting right now. Then guess what? Wherever you're at with your challenge packs or challenges, you are launching another challenge group. So if your challenge group for the month has already launched and you only have, you need one more Success Club point right now. If you're new enough and you don't think anybody's interested in coaching at this point, don't rely on the coaching, somebody to sign up for coaching to get those points. I would be launching another challenge group. And it's okay for a while there, I was running challenge groups every 2 weeks. I was launching them every 2 weeks and needed so that I could get my Success Club. And I was having really good Success Club numbers. So, yep, I'd be launching another one. And do I mail it internationally to them people? The people that I have in Germany, Japan, Italy, and, well, not Canada, but Canada is different because we have Beachbody Canada. But they are all affiliated with the military. So it's kind of like shipping to the U.S. And so they it's not shipping internationally to them. So no, I don't. I would be careful. I would just know the customs laws. Germany is very strict on their customs of like some places can have Shakeology, some places can't. That's dependent by state. So if you are going to ship it internationally, just know where you're shipping to, and know those rules, because you don't want it to be any sort of customs violation. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else feel brave? Want to ask some questions, or how do they feel about their challenge group and on launch? Oh, do I ask people to join a challenge group if they have their own thing? I'm not sure what their own thing is. So like if they're doing a different workout, or yeah, I mean, challenge groups can benefit everybody. It's just some people get it for different reasons. If they're going to be doing a program, maybe they're interested in the program, maybe they're interested in the nutrition, maybe they're interested in Shakeology because they need something quick and easy. Yeah, I invite them, most definitely. Nope, I offer Teresa asked, do you offer the discount coach to only people you think might coach later on? Nope, I offer the discount to everybody still. I am in a business building stage and I offer it to everybody. And because for the simple fact that for me, I started as a discount coach. I started for that 25%. And so most of my people are like, yeah, I want a deal. That deal is that 25%. So if I think they're going to be great coaches, period, I will launch with, I think you'd be a fantastic coach. And if there's somebody I'd like to be on my team, I offer it to them. But I offer the coaching opportunity. The coaching opportunity I offer to the people that like I think are going to be great coaches or might be interested. I offer the coaching discount opportunity to everybody. And I'll be honest, a lot of times I'll just throw out the coaching opportunity to people, even if I'm not sure if they would be in or like what I'm feeling about, because all of a sudden they'll be like, yeah, I am actually kind of interested in coaching. And they never would have been interested if I hadn't taken that chance. So I don't always just trust my gut. I throw it to the wind and say, would you be interested? Because, you know, if they're doing great and they're having great results, then they're already well on their way to being a great coach. Here, proof the product works. There's my vegan vanilla and thawed berry Shakeology. All right, Julia, you're running your first one on your own. Good job. Oh, you guys are blowing it up. This is so exciting. If Melanie isn't running a new group and I need to start another one, do I try to see if I can hook up with another coach to run on? Yeah, Julia, definitely. That's a great question. So I have loved running challenge groups with other coaches because they always bring a different perspective. It's always something new that you can learn. So just post out on the group page and see who you get. And if you don't get anybody, wait a couple days and post again and see if you get somebody. Because yeah, it's so much easier to run a challenge group or to team up like you guys here as the new coaches. You know, if you're not quite ready to run a challenge group on your own, just team up together. Like internally, you've got your own little like working group here right now with resources, and you could run a group together that way too. And Carrie, I've decided to run my own group. I have 2 committed. I only need 1 more for Success Club. All right, Carrie, rock on. And Tanya, don't worry. I'm teleworking today. I technically have to go back to work here in about 5 minutes. So this is pockets of time, guys. You guys can coach just about anywhere. You get a little bit creative with it. It doesn't have to be, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be pretty, but you just get it done. You just say, okay, you get it done. And you listen to what Melanie has to say. She obviously knows how to be successful at this, obviously. And she's got the biggest heart, and this team has just incredible amounts of resources. So keep using these resources. I have asked some and they say they have their own thing going on, like their own nutrition or Weight Watchers. Do you ask them the following month? You know, so Tanya, when they have things like Weight Watchers going on or their nutrition or they're really doing it, you're not going to upset anybody by wanting to continue to help them. So I have people that do Weight Watchers and do my challenge groups. Like they drink Shakeology and they do the workouts, because Weight Watchers, you know, it's another great way to be accountable, but it doesn't offer the fitness side of it. And so Shakeology fits right in with the points. Like they can work that into their day. So no, I ask them every month because I don't know what's changed for them. I don't know what's happened. And Facebook and social media is the highlight reel. So you don't really know what's going on with somebody unless you see them day in and day out. And so, no, I haven't had anybody upset by me asking them. It comes from a good place, and they all know that. And, you know, I've had people kiddingly say, like, oh, you think I need to lose weight? I'm like, no, I think you need to feel better about yourself, because we've had a conversation where they were really unhappy and they were struggling. And, you know, and when you say that, it comes from a great place. So no, you aren't going to upset anybody. All right, Julia. Okay. Oh, great. You're on it with Melanie. Good. What kind of free groups do you run, and how long do you run the free groups for? Oh, good one. And Julia, Tanya, not sure if you've done it yet, but I would look at Melanie's handling objections doc she put in Vimify. Yes, handling objections. Seriously, there's no such thing as objections. Like, you go with the flow with it, and you just learn. Guys, right now, expect objections in your conversations. I told you guys that in the very beginning of this call, is that people just are resistant to change. They don't want to do this. They know they want to do something. They know they need to do something, but they're going to be skeptical. And there's good reason to be skeptical. There's a lot of really scammy, quick fix products out there. And so I applaud the people that are really going to start questioning me on what the product is, because you know what? I know this product works, and I am here to stand by it. So don't ever like cower to, or you respond back confidently to somebody when they have an objection. You're like, yeah, sure, I totally understand what you're saying. And then you give them the reason why they're completely wrong about it. Like, yeah, and object it. Free groups. Yes. So our team runs a free group every month. We were kind of bad about it this summer, but we typically will run a free group every month. And it's a calendar. You're going to see Melanie's calendar too. This is all works on a cycle. And so the first week of the month, we run a free group. And we only run free groups for 5 to 7 months. Think about this. You're just giving them a taste of what you're doing. I would never run a challenge group for longer than 7 days, because again, it's just a taste of what it is that a challenge group has to offer. You don't want to give them too much, because then you've just given them the whole thing for free and they haven't really had to do anything. And then my team, we got together and we just brainstormed like what we're going to do for free groups every month. Like, you know, we had a back to school one that we did for August, and we've got one coming up that we're doing for Instapot recipes. We've got one for like January. We're going to do a vision board. Oh, thank you, Carrie. That was really kind of you to say. She said her phone's getting ready to die, but this is the best call yet. So just wanted to, I got to let the other coaches know that. But yeah, 5 to 7, and then we have the challenge group for free that first week. We have 1 week break, and then that third Monday is typically when we launch our challenge group. And then we spend the rest of the month advertising for coaching. That's our cycle. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. So, and it is like 1 o'clock on the dot. You guys got anything else? Thank you so much for being here today, guys. I hope you have an awesome rest of the day. And guys, don't skip out on the rest of your Vimify coaching. Finish strong, all right? I'll see you guys on the team page. Later.